Hello, check one, check two, check one, check two, check. What's up, guys? It's your boy Willie Ripper here, and today I just felt like I should share some of the experience I had my freshman year of high school. Now, some of these stories are kind of wild, and I think you guys might not believe them, but these stories are actually true. So I'm gonna start by telling you a story. I'm not gonna reveal the real names. I want to give them real names. So the first story is about how I got drugs planted into my locker and I was almost kicked out of my high school. So I've been beefing with this guy. His name is Rashawn. I'm just gonna call him Rashawn. And me and him was on the football team together, and he never really liked me. Like when I was around him, he would always, just pick me out of the group and say, "Oh, you was weak. You're not good at football. You should just quit the team." And I'm a good guy. I'm a nice guy. I was like, just shut up. I don't want any beef with you. I just want to hang out with my friends, and be cool. But it was always him. It was him and some other guys that played basketball. And I would just hang out with the other guys from the football team, be cool, chill. We wasn't the best football team, but we was a team, so we hung out together. So I was hanging out with this girl I liked. Her name was Sydney. And Sydney knows what me and Rashawn been going through. Like, she knows that me and him beef a lot. And she respects that because when we walk, walk and talk, she tends to avoid that area he hangs out in. So we was walking and he came up to me and Sydney. He said, what did he say? He said that, you, Corey, you're a bitch and everything. You suck at football. You should leave Sydney. Why are you hanging around this loser? I was like, man, why you always bothering me? Just leave me alone. I don't feel like it today, because it was like in the middle of finals, and I think I did bad on one of the tests, and he was like, Corey, you're bad at school. I don't even know how you got into the school because the school I go to is a selective enrollment school. I said, shut up, guy, just leave me alone. He said, okay, Corey, no matter what, I'm gonna get you, because me and him played the same position and I was starting over him. So I think he held that over he held that over me. So he, I think he was mad because I was starting over him. He wasn't really. I don't know how they say it. So he was mad at me because I took his starting spot. He's a sophomore. I'm a freshman. So as the day comes along, I was in my sixth period class, which is AP Human Geography. I was in the AP Human Geography class when the security guards come in the classroom and they say, Corey, can we speak to you in the office? So I'm like, I'm a good student, It's probably nothing. Probably like they found my lost ID or something, Probably just nothing. And when I go in there, they have an ounce of marijuana in my locker. And they was like, Corey, what is this? I tell the principal, Mr. Mathers, that's his real name, Mr. Mathers. Um, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not mine. Well, he came up to me. He said, well, Mr. Maddox, Willie Ripper, um, we found this in your locker. And I was confused because I don't really like drugs because I'm an athlete. Doing drugs I felt would ruin my condition, like my body physique. So I told them, I don't know what you're talking about, but you're suspended until further notice. And he said, if we really can't find out like who did it, or we're gonna have to pin it against you, and you will be expelled from the school. And that was really stupid to me. I know Mr. Mather is a really good teacher. Love him to death. He's helped me through a lot of stuff I've been going through at Lindblom. Um, and he told me that if they don't figure it out, I would be expelled. So I was out of school for like a good 2 weeks before they found out. They got started getting hints from people at my school because I couldn't be anywhere near the school premises that Corey doesn't do drugs and he wouldn't even have drugs in his possession, even though it wasn't on my possession. Well, it was in my locker, so he wouldn't even have drugs on him. So the principal calls my mother and says, we need to set up a meeting between you and some possible suspects, some people that they might thought planted the drugs on me. So I go I go to the meeting. It's me, Rashawn, and some other people, some of his friends. And Rashawn was like, what are you talking about? This guy's a known drug dealer. You know, he sells drugs around the school because this school is in a really bad part of Chicago. It's in Inglewood. So they was like, yeah, this kid sells drugs. You know, he's a bad kid. You should expel him. But I told Mr. Mather. Now, me and him have been beefing for a long time now, and I think he's lying to you, and he's the guy that planted the weed on me. He said we don't know how this really happened, like why you guys planting weed, or if he really did it. But he told Rashawn, if we figure this out and one of you guys really did it, you guys will be expelled and we will call the police. So, you know, I wasn't worried about anything because I didn't plant the drugs in my locker. You know, I didn't put any drugs in my locker. I wouldn't even bring drugs to school. Rashawn, though, he looked nervous. So right after the meeting, Mr. Mather came up to me. He was like, your suspension is over till further notice. You know, you can come back to school. So, you know, I was kind of happy about that because after a while, you know, stuff get boring without anything to do. And my mother was really upset with me because she thought that I really put drugs into my locker. I was selling marijuana. So my mom was happy. I was happy. I was back at school. And, you know, I was talking to my friends and everything. They was like, man, that's crazy. How did it go? And I told them, man, it was nothing. And then a week later, they found out that Rashad put the drugs into my locker. And he did get expelled, but since they didn't find it on his possession, he only got a 6-month probation, which basically means he had a parole officer, and they had to do random drug tests on him. So, you know, it's a win for me, and I kind of feel bad for Rashawn. I know I'm kind of soft for everything he done to me. You know, he put drugs into my locker. You know, I should be pissed, but I felt kind of bad for him because he really didn't do any drugs. You know, he has a parole officer now, and he's getting monitored. So maybe it was a good thing, maybe it was a bad thing. The world may never know, but I'm just grateful that the principal found out the information that he did, that my friends were supportive and helped me when I couldn't help myself. Like, I couldn't tell the principal that the drugs was in mine. So that's the moral of the story. Make sure your friends have your back and tell the truth. Don't do drugs, kids. And that's the end of the video. I'd like to thank you. My name's Jolie Ripper. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video. To me, like the video, subscribe to my channel, and peace out. Love you guys.